Hi, I'm Debbie. Today we're going to make some vintage style jewellery using one of our make your own kits, which we have available on our website. Now these kits are great because they've got everything in that you need to make several pieces of jewellery. Okay, so we've got our image here. We open up our diamond glaze, and best to not shake that around because we don't want bubbles in there. And the easiest way to apply our glass to the image is just to pop a few drops. Whoops, we've got bubbles coming there, so it can be a good idea just to start dropping it out onto the paper there so that we make sure that we're not getting too many bubbles on our image. Just put a few little drops there on our image, and then we can pop the lid back on. And then we take our glass dome and pop it on there, and we just want to swirl that around like a little hovercraft on top of the image, and that way it will just move those bubbles out and it will even out the diamond glaze that we have. And once we've decided we're ready to put it in place, just gently work it into the right place. Whoops. And then the best thing is just to give it a good push and leave it alone. And we need to leave that now for a good few hours, preferably overnight. And then when we come back to it tomorrow, we're going to simply cut around it with some scissors. So here we are 24 hours later, and our diamond glaze has dried sufficiently for us to be able to cut neatly around our glass cabochon here and continue making our pendant. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll just cut this image out from here and pop aside this one so that we can use that for another project. So now we'll continue on cutting. We just go nicely around the surface, being very careful to try and not break the seal between the diamond glaze and the image. Just gently round and round. You can use a craft knife to do this, but personally I find it easier to work with scissors. So just move your way around there, getting closer and closer with your scissors and trimming in further. Just remember to try and be very perpendicular with your scissors with these round ones, otherwise you end up with undermining the image and it all looking quite messy once you've created your pendant. And if you happen to have some sandpaper handy, you can just gently go around the edge and tidy that off if you want to. It's not essential, but if you just happen to have some around, it's a good idea. Okay, so let's move our mess out of the way. Now we're going to put our diamond glaze in our copper tray here and then pop our image in and finish our pendant off. Now before we do that, we've noticed through our own experience and also from questions that we've had from some of our customers, there can be a tendency for there to be a reaction take place between the diamond glaze and the metal bezel tray. And what can happen sometimes, and we believe it's because this is wet and that's wet and it flows through into the image paper, we can sometimes get a blue tinge appearing on the image. So in order to prevent this, we really need to create a barrier between that metal and the paper getting wet. So we can either put a little layer of our diamond glaze into our bezel tray and dry that, or alternately we could put a layer of diamond glaze on the back of here. So either way will work, but the important thing is that you just put that light layer on and then dry it. So today I'm going to just pop that in our tray. We'll just use a little paintbrush here to spread it round And then we're going to leave this, we don't need to leave it overnight obviously, just enough for it to dry and create that barrier. So half an hour or so, or alternately you can do what I'm going to do, and that is take a hairdryer or a heating gun and just dry that off very quickly, and then we can continue on. So we've put our layer of diamond glaze in there now, and we've dried that with a hairdryer and cooled it down as well. So now it's time to take our diamond glaze again, and we'll put in a slightly larger amount, dot it around there inside our bezel tray, and then we take our glass with our image, drop it into there. Now we want to make sure that we line it up at this point, make sure that it's nice and straight, and that diamond glaze that's oozing out from there, we just get a damp cloth and just wipe around that right across the surface so that you don't end up getting any of that diamond glaze setting on top of your pendant. So we should ideally leave that now for 2 or 3 hours before we wear it, and yeah, we've got a really lovely pendant. So thanks for watching our video, and be sure to subscribe to our video channel for regular updates, and our vintage kits and all our components within those kits are available for sale on our website.